As your Toastmaster, it's my job to introduce the speakers in the room today. Our first speaker today is Harvey Rosa.
Come on in, join the party.
Harvey is a PhD candidate for the Department of Mathematics and Science at Kite. He has his Advanced Communicator Bronze. He's been a member of the Data Toastmaster Club, or DTC, and Schoolmasters. He is the current VP of Education at the Schoolmasters Club. So without further ado, since you didn't come to listen to me speak today, I'm going to turn it over to him and let him give his presentation. So give it up for Harvey.
Team, thank you very much. Such a warm welcome. And I gotta tell you something. Perhaps we won't be the crowdest of the workshop, but we have the best people here.
Got it.
Aren't we? Aren't we the best?
Yeah.
Of course we are. And I want to thank each one of you, and I would like to know just on a very rough, how many people from Seoul? How about the John? And how about Busan? From any other place? Gwangju.
Wow.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, how many of you Toastmasters members? And guests? I would like for the Toastmasters members to give a huge round of applause to the guests. Today, we're going to have a workshop about evaluation, and I will try to make it as brief as possible so we can open up the floor and have some feedback ourselves. I'm going to talk about feedbackers instead of evaluators. And I'm calling this term feedbackers. So if Toastmasters get to use it, please acknowledge it. You hear it from me. Okay. All right. Why did I had the idea of having a workshop or a talk about evaluation? Well, basically because we have a huge problem. And it's when we get to sign up for evaluators, it's always the last thing to get the role filled up. People in general don't like to be an evaluator. And worst of all, when you have a sign-up sheet for an advanced speaker, that's even harder to fill. It is not common to find members that are willing to be an evaluator. Somehow you are daunted by that role. And I guess it's in part because of the term, evaluator. But actually what we are is feedbackers. That's what we do. We give feedback rather than evaluate somebody. It's very subjective. So let me go through the goals of this workshop. The first one is, of course, to encourage members to do evaluations. To get you, as a Toastmaster, to sign up when you see an evaluator slot open. I will do it. I haven't seen person number 7, I'll do it. Oh my goodness, he's in advanced communicator manual. Okay, I'll do it. I don't care. I want to. And at the end of this workshop, what I will try, my goal to achieve is why you should do that for your own benefit. Why we don't do it? Perhaps because we are afraid. I wonder afraid of what? But we are afraid. We see that blank page and we are like, no, maybe somebody else. Somebody who knows better than me. Somebody that is better than me. And why are we afraid? Bottom line, nobody's going to eat us. Nothing bad is going to happen to us. Why not to do it? All right. What happened? Oh my God. Okay. We need to build up a base of helpful evaluators, and you will get to know why in a little further. But we need that, and we need that in every single club. And if we got this base of good evaluators, supportive evaluators, you will see that your club and yourself will improve a lot. And we have to change. We have to include this change between it's all right when you go up and give your speech, and they went, oh, fantastic, great. To be more constructive, to be more critical of what we can do to be better, what you can keep doing because you're very good, but to change that and to be critical and supportive. And let me see those. Now, why is that? Why do we need to do it? You find this in the back page of your promise in your manual. Public speaking is a skill, and like any skill can be developed and improved. That's what we do in Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, feedback is called evaluation, and it is in the heart of the Toastmasters education program. This is the very foundation of Toastmasters, and we skip it. It's very strange. How does it work? Well, it's very simple. You practice, right? You go and you prepare your script, and you rehearse, and you take your time, right? Then you go to your Toastmasters club, and you deliver your speech, and you get feedback. What happens after that? Well, you practice once again. Right? And after that, well, you get feedback. And after that, you practice, and after that, you get feedback. And after that, you practice, and after that, you get feedback. And that's how it works. You get to be a better public speaker practicing and getting feedback. So somebody needs to get that feedback. If you don't get that feedback, there is no way that you can get better. And that's why you need evaluators, for the sake of those who are getting better. But not only that, what can you gain signing up for being that evaluator? What's for you? Right? Because the public, the one who is speaking, oh, he's getting better as a public speaker. That's what he wants to do. So what can you gain becoming a better evaluator? Well, it turns out that if you are a better evaluator, you become a better listener, which is a very good skill to have. And even better, you become a better communicator. Why? Because you must be able to think, what did you see in the speaker's speech that can be improved? And you have to be able to communicate that. You have to be able to sort it out a way in which it's going to be helpful for the speaker and for the audience to learn from that. An evaluator purpose should be, first and foremost, to be honest. You have to tell the truth. Nobody likes somebody lying there and saying things that are not true. You have to be constructive. There is no point to destroy speakers' self-confidence when you are being an evaluator, saying like, oh my God, that speech was horrible. You don't want the other extreme either. And, everything was good, and the speaker just said it. You want to have a balance between those two, and you have to be resourceful. And for that, my best advice is to keep yourself informed. Practice, of course, as a speaker, but keep yourself informed. The Toastmasters magazine, and there are plenty of resources in which you can get information, but you should be able not only to say to the speaker, hey, you know, you're looking to the ceiling all the time, but give him some tips. Hey, you know, when you're in front of an audience, if you're daunted by somebody looking at you, look at their ears. If you're looking at somebody's ears, you're keeping eye contact to some level, right? But people are not looking at you all weird, like, yeah, well, and next, right? You have to be resourceful when you give your evaluation. Now, how to do it? Oh, this is quite hard. Now, how do we do it? How we do evaluations? Well, first of all, read the speech project. It is very advisable that when you have a project that you haven't done, read the entire project beforehand. And don't be scared of evaluating somebody that you haven't done. If you're in project number 5, it is totally fine to go for project number